Thanks for joining us today. We want to talk to you about a major effort to help the hungry in the greater Windham County, Vermont area, Project Feed the Thousands, and to talk about the campaign in its broadest terms. The co-chair of Project Feed, to my left, Kelly Corbeil, the general manager and owner of Four Seasons Media, and to my far left, one of the co-founders of Project Feed, George Haynes, who was a longtime president of Brattleboro Savings Loan Association and now is still active in the food drive in his retirement years. Thank you both for coming in.
Welcome.
Thank you.
So maybe, Kelly, we could start off by just hitting with a broad brush who is being helped with this year's campaign and how much food and money are you trying to bring in to make that happen?
Yep, we have 9 area food shelves that are going to benefit this year. And our goal this year is 300,000 meals and 100,000 in cash.
It's far different than when this campaign began. George, you said this is year 28?
This is the 28th year of our campaign. We started in 1994.
Now, I'm probably one of the few people to remember that. Not along with you, of course. But what was the whole scenario when this first started happening?
Yeah, this started in 1994. I was president of Brattleboro Savings Loan. We had already done one community initiative that we had each year, and that was Community Appreciation Day. But I was looking for something else to do, something that would benefit the community. And so I talked to my friend Larry Smith, who was at WTSA at the time, and tried to run some scenarios. And Larry said, well, we should do a food drive. I said, a food drive for who? Who's hungry? You know, we talking about homeless people? And Larry said, oh, no. We're talking about people that are struggling to make ends meet. We're not talking about the homeless people. We're talking about people that, young mothers, elderly, people that are families that are working, but they just have trouble making ends meet, and they're using the food shelf. So he took me to the food shelf, and I saw it with my own eyes. So we decided, okay, we're going to do a food drive. How are we going to go about this? We checked in with our Friends of Communicators group, and we determined that there was about 1,000 people in the area. So we named it Project Feed the 1,000, that's singular, 1,000 people. And we had the idea of filling a tractor trailer full of food, so we put the tractor trailer for visual purposes at the bank and invited people for a 2-week period to bring food to the bank. Now, the food drive itself and the idea of feeding hungry people was a good idea. Bringing food to the bank probably was not the best idea. So the following year, we made some changes. We decided that we should set up areas in grocery stores so when people bought food, they could drop the food right there. And we decided, too, that we wanted to involve a larger portion of the community. The goal or the vision at the time was really to have something to the extent that paralleled the Reformer Christmas stocking. And the Reformer Christmas stocking, as you know, was probably in effect 50 or 60 years at that point, did a marvelous job, involved the whole community, raising money to buy warm clothing and boots and gloves for kids. So we thought, well, we could do something along those lines, but for feeding people who are hungry, taking care of another need. So just quickly fast forwarding, we then decided to involve more businesses, more service organizations like the Sunrise Rotary Club, the Kiwanis, other businesses. Entergy Vermont Yankee came on board, River Valley Credit Union, and then the schools. The schools were big because the schools were all like little armies. So we had Bob Newbar at the time working with the elementary school, Bertie Sprague, and the student council at the high school level, along with the Career Center, Mary Beth Cornell and Ike Bergeron. Anyway, it all started to come together. And so that's where it really took off.
And it also enlarged to additional food shelves. I mean, and originally it was just in the Brattleboro area, but it expanded incredibly beyond our wildest dreams.
Yeah, it sure did. Let me just give you a quick idea that, and this goes back to 2002. We had an assembly at Brattleboro Union High School, and that was the assembly when we gave the banner to the school, the championship banner of being community champions. But at that assembly, the statistics were that 1 out of 12 children would go to bed hungry in 2002. And we said there were probably about 4,000 people in the area. Well, you know, you fast forward today, we're talking 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4 children. And as you said, we've expanded, we're doing, and as Kelly said, 9 food shelves. So the demand is, you know, we're actually in some ways going in the wrong direction. You know, instead of helping more people, we have more people to help. We hope that we raise the food and money, and that will take care of the need. It doesn't. The need keeps growing.
And with that, the need to continue the outreach, because some of the original people involved in helping with the campaign, for instance, some of the school children, they're now adults. All of us are getting older,
Yep.
but the problem continues on. And along with it, we've got to redouble our efforts.
Yeah.
So what drives you in making sure that you keep on keeping on here, George?
Well, I said at the time that I retired almost 15 years ago that I retired from the bank, but I wasn't going to retire from Project Feed the Thousands. And what drives me is the fact that the need continues to be great. And it's it's probably the most rewarding thing I've done in my life in terms of seeing something grow and involving the community to the level that it's involved. And it energizes me, and the need is there. And it seems like we never can get the message across to the fullest extent that we'd like. You know, there's always somebody that needs help, and there's always somebody that needs to learn more and do more to help in Project Feed the Thousands.
But you think of what has been done over the past 28 years, the aggregate effort, just phenomenal.
Yeah. Well, Kelly, since she became co-chair, she's added a whole slew of enhancements to what we did, back in the earlier days. So she might want to talk about some of the things that she's done that have really helped the campaign.
The whole idea of media has changed so dramatically over the last 20 years. And Kelly, you've kind of brought Project Feed the Thousands kicking and screaming along with it.
I try. So one of the things, like you say, what are you so proud of? So I own Four Seasons Media, which is obviously a media company, and one of the things that we can do as a media company is help by getting that information out there to the public in all these ways, shapes, and forms. Like through the radio, we're connected with the Reformer. The Reformer helps us quite a bit. The Commons helps us. Other radio stations, KVT, YRY. Of course, we have our Instagrams and our Facebooks, and we're all sharing. And we're also very well connected to businesses because our livelihood is with other businesses. So we're in front of them all the time. So we always say at the radio station we have a big mouth, and we try to use it to get the information out there so people can volunteer, help, and donate, and try to help our hungry friends and neighbors.
We're going to talk more about Project Feed the Thousands. In fact, zone in on some of the ways that you can make a contribution coming up next as we continue with Project Feed the Thousands. And we continue with some of the organizations that help with Project Feed, including the Vermont Food Bank. Chris Thayer is the local director. All the schools in the Brattleboro area. Mark Spino is the superintendent for the Wyndham Southeast Supervisory Union, and one of the many people who do work right at the front lines. St. Bridget's Kitchen, Missy Galanis does some yeoman work there, so thank you all.
Thank you.
Let's start off by talking about the Vermont Food Bank. What role does it play in making sure the food gets to the 9 area programs that are now served?
Yep.
So what we do is we receive in the product from local businesses like CNS and Commonwealth Dairy and UNFI. They're all a big part of donating throughout not only the campaign, but through the year. And we receive that product in, it gets on the shelves, and agencies, food shelves, all of them can go in and order online and pick and choose what they need or want.
So they will call and say, here's what we need, and either arrange pickup or have it delivered?
No, they can actually go right online and order it through the online, and then it comes right to us, and we can just print it out. It's no phone calls. It's how it used to be in the olden days, but it changed to nobody has to call anybody.
So the food and the finances that come in with Project Feed, how quickly does that draw down?
Really quick. When it goes on the shelves, it comes off the shelves. So as quick as we can put it on, it gets ordered. I would say when we receive in a donation of product, it's gone within that week, and not everybody gets a chance. We try to, sometimes if there's a small amount, we'll limit what folks can take so everybody can have some, but it goes fast.
Now, has the past couple of years of COVID put a crimp into the supply chain at all?
No, actually, it's gotten better. People have donated. They've seen what's going on and the need, and a lot of our programs have increased with people throughout this pandemic. So everybody in Vermont has stepped up and either donated money, donated food, whatever they can do to support us and everybody else. So,
but the thing is, the number of people in need has also gone up.
It has, yes. It's up almost 23%. Since, it was up almost 40%, and then it has decreased a little bit from March of last year to March of this year, but it's still up almost 23% from what it was, 3 years ago.
That scares the heck out of me.
Yeah.
So I want to focus on an organization that helps collect food, but also is directly affected by the results of Project Feed. Mark Spino, you've seen this as an educator, a school principal, and now as Wyndham Southeast superintendent. How much does the problem of hunger affect what you do on a daily basis?
A big part of our job in our school district is feeding our kids. So I'm proud to say that we feed our children a breakfast, a snack, a lunch, and in many cases an after-school snack every day. So we're proud of that service that we can provide.
And are there youngsters who may need help more than others?
Absolutely, yeah. Many families, actually. And we partner with organizations like the Food Bank. Chris, on a monthly basis, delivers boxes of food to our schools, and we send food home on the weekend for families as well.
And from a journalistic standpoint, we keep hearing about how children who are hungry and might be coming from a disadvantaged home don't learn as well as their cohorts sitting next to them. Is that still the case? And how can Project Feed help?
Well, if you're hungry and you're tired, everything is more difficult, which is why we place such an emphasis on our food programs and on our relationships with companies like the Food Bank. So Project Feed is an amazing organization that we've been involved with officially for about 14 years now. And really proud to do the work in the community and to give our students that opportunity to be leaders in their community.
So the students are helping with donations. How does that work?
Most schools have collection boxes, and they do advertisements to their school communities and ask for donations. Some schools will also have donation boxes that they they place in different area businesses and collect those on a weekly basis. Students will do promotional advertisements on the radio. We developed the Feed the Bus event about 12 years ago That's been a huge success. And over the years, we've been able to get more schools in the area to participate, schools outside of Windham Southeast, which has been really nice.
And as I understand, this year's Feed the Bus event will be distributed to all the different programs?
Yeah, what's going to happen is we're going to pick the product up and bring it back to the facility, and then we're going to sort it into categories where our local food shelves can order that product, like I described on the online service.
But over the years, we've brought students over to the food bank to teach them how the system works to various food shelves around town. So it's an educational as well as a do good for your community program.
One of the programs that is helped by Project Feed is not actually a food shelf, but instead it's a direct meal service, St. Bridget's Kitchen. Missy Galanis, how long have you been working in it, and how does this differ from a traditional food bank?
Well, I've been there 4 to 5 years, and I started out just in renovations and helping fundraise for our new kitchen. And it's just kind of mushroomed to now I'm on the leadership committee, so we just kind of oversee everything. We do about 400 meals or more a week. We distribute them at lunchtime, and people come and pick them up. We used to have our guests come in, which we're really missing because that's a great connection with the people. We also, once a month, have a take a box, and anybody can line up in their car and get a box, and it's staples and bread and cheese and milk and vegetables, canned foods. And the best thing we think we've done the last year and a half is we raised some money and we built a farm shed on the property. And we get produce and fruits, vegetables, staples. We get bread twice a week, and anybody can use it. It's 24/7, no questions asked, and people use it constantly. It's wonderful. And we have 2 wonderful women that fill it up 3 times a week, sometimes 4 times a week, and keep track of it. And it's been a really asset to us. But our biggest asset is our volunteers. We have hundreds of volunteers that do all kinds of things, from cooking to trash to delivering meals to cleaning up after. We have people that come in and pack up peanuts into individual servings and things like that. We have children 9 years old that come and help. Just even if whatever they can do is wonderful, and they feel the accomplishment of giving back, and it's wonderful.
And so when is St. Bridget's Kitchen actually open?
We have meals Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday from 11:30 to 1:30. And the take a bag or take a box we've ended up doing now is the last Saturday of the month. And I think he starts at 3:30 to 5.
And it sounds like the results of Project Feed really make a big difference to what you do.
Oh, it does. It helps sustain us throughout the year. You know, we are donation based, and it keeps us going, and what we do best is, providing food for those who need it.
And have you seen the numbers go up?
We have. And not as much with the individual meals, but with the groceries for families. There's a lot of families out there who just need that little bit of assistance, or grandparents who are taking care of children, and the elderly themselves who need just that little bit of extra food to make their week go a little better, stretch their dollars a little bit.
Well, bless you and the volunteers for the work you do.
Our volunteers are amazing. We wouldn't be there if we didn't have volunteers.
Coming up, we'll talk more about Project Feed, many of the organizations that help make it happen. Coming up next with Project Feed the Thousands. As we've said, there are many people who help make Project Feed the Thousands happen. Among them is a giant in the Brattleboro community, the Brattleboro Food Co-op. John Magus Russell is with the Food Co-op. And of course, there has to be somebody to organize and make sure that we get all the numbers right. 802 Credit Union has been fantastic at that. In fact, Selena Ayers is with us from 802 Credit Union. And outreach to the area businesses has been very important. Aaron Astley from Four Seasons Media has been crackerjack at that as well. So let's begin by talking with Aaron. Every year, there's outreach to the business community called the Business Blitz. How big is it? How does it work? And how do they respond?
It's been wonderful. So at the end of October, I'd say, a bunch of us got together, whether it was volunteers, it was people representing local businesses, and we got together. We came up with some businesses that we wanted to divide and conquer, essentially, go talk to these businesses and figure out how they can get involved, whether it's hanging banners or cash boxes or food bins. We've even had businesses like Burton's Car Wash. They do a fundraiser each year. For 24 hours, all the proceeds are donated back to Project Feed, and it's 100%. Against the Grain did a 2-day promotion where 50% of their proceeds were donated back. So it's just any way to get people involved. And if people do want to get involved, reach out to us, let us know, so then we can give them a plug on the radio, in any way on our social medias, to let other people know that it's a great thing that we're doing, and any sort of proceeds really are appreciated.
So really, the possibilities are interest.
They really are.
Just that, whatever a business might be able to think up, no matter how crazy it is, if it's a money raiser or a food raiser, that's great.
Yeah, and people do like raffles and stuff like that, like a crazy hat day. And, the business might donate like a day off. And if people put in for this raffle, all of those proceeds will go back to Project Feed, but then somebody gets a day off in the company. So you can make it really fun and different, think outside the box.
Well, they've done a great job, and hopefully they'll continue to do that. Now, Selena, welcome to 802 Credit Union in the greater Windham County area. The merger earlier this year with the former River Valley Credit Union has been great for both of you. But you've also helped step up and continue on with an organizational role. What are some of the things that your organization does to help out the logistics of Project Feed?
Sure, thank you. So 802 Credit Union is very excited to continue with helping with Project Feed. We handle the clerical work and the accounting, all of the supply handling. So we help out wherever we can.
It sounds it, and of course, that organizational help is tremendous, because not only are there many people involved with Project Feed trying to run their own businesses and accept collections, somebody has to count it.
Yes. Yes, it keeps us very busy counting all the contributions and making all the deposits, and it helps greatly with all of our staff that participates.
And of course, all of your staff are incredible. They're very enthusiastic about this effort.
Yes, everybody's very passionate about Project Feed.
Just as passionate as John is about food, making sure that people who are hungry get fed. John, as long as I've seen the Brattleboro Food Co-op in our community, it has continued on, done a great job for everybody. How does it fit in with Project Feed?
I mean, as a community-owned grocery store, we have to contribute to people that need food. Every year we try to increase that contribution, whether it be signs on shelf, encouraging people through social media to donate, newsletters, things of that nature. And then this year we're able to offer folks to be able to round up their purchases at checkout, so that say you have a $99 purchase, you can round it to $100, and you can give that buck to Project Feed. So every year we just try to do more and more to help feed our community. Being that we're very close to Foodworks and Groundworks, we just every year try to make sure that relationship is great. And this is one of the ways that we can give back and just build it every year.
And how has the community responded?
Wonderful. Monthly, we're giving $7,000 checks to local organizations for the roundup. It is solely based on community gestures, and for us being a Project Feed partner as well as a Groundwork sponsor, we just want to give food to people. I mean, we have foods. We need to get people food that need it. It's the biggest thing in this town, is that more people are in need because of COVID and otherwise, and so it's our job.
And there's a donation box in the front of the market?
There is not a donation box. Actually, we asked people to round up their purchases. We did do a drive over the weekend to sell Christmas trees for Groundworks, and we did collect probably $200 or $300 for Project Feed on that day. But we have a big red tub out to collect food, and at checkout, we're hoping to raise upwards of $8,000 for Project Feed this month.
Very nice. And of course, people want to be part of the effort, they can always not only shop, but become a member.
You got it.
Fantastic. Some great work being done in our community. In fact, over the years, your generosity has just been outstanding. So thank you for everything you've done. Thank you for what you're about to do. Because again, this year, our goals, $100,000 in cash and 300,000 meals, all to help 9 area food programs in the greater Windham County area. Because without your help, there may be people making some difficult decisions, either fuel or food, rent or food. Let's not let that happen. Again, Project Feed the Thousands. You can go online, projectfeed.org, or make a contribution in care of 802 Credit Union. And what's that address again?
That is P.O. Box 8366 at North Brattleboro, Vermont, 05304.
And you can even designate which food program you'd like your contribution to go to. So, thanks to everybody who's been with us this time around, and thank you for your contribution. Again, Project Feed the Thousands. Let's be part of the solution. This is Tim Johnson. Thank you, and God bless.